Dave, how you doing?
Good, how about you, Andy?
Okay, we're going.
All right, let's bring Improvement Services Committee to order. Let it be recorded, Nicholson, Netting, and Vanderleest are present. Weary is on his way. Okay, so I need a motion to approve the minutes of the regular meeting of November 29th.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Vanderleest, second by Netting. Under discussion here, none, all in favor?
Aye.
Nays, motion carried. Number 2, approval of the agenda. Motion to approve by Vanderleest,
Second.
second by Netting. Under discussion, here none, all in favor?
Aye.
Nays, motion carried. 3, consideration possible action, Craig and Peter Basson, to extend the payment period for pavement special assessments associated with reconstruction of Humboldt Road from 5 to 10 years in accordance with 9.44 GBMC on the following parcels: 21-362-2, 21-363, 21-365, 21-373, and 21-6512. Steve?
Okay, if you remember, Humboldt Road was a joint project between the city and the county that was completed during the 2016 construction season. We finally got all the paperwork in order for that, and the assessments were recently levied for that project. The assessment amounts listed in item 3 of your packet. One thing I will notice, when the Bastons listed the parcels, the first parcel listed, 21-362-2, is actually not one of theirs. That's owned by the church. So that will not be part of this request. We're going to have to remove that one. If you remember back to the assessment hearing on this, the Bastons identified that most of that property that we're talking about out here, that's all vacant farmland that has a significant amount of frontage. So they're simply requesting consideration to extend the payment period from 5 years to 10 years, and the Bastons are aware that interest is charged on that during the repayment period.
Okay. Questions? Concerns? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
Move to approve.
Motion to approve by Netting, second by Vanderleest.
Seconded, yes.
Under discussion. Here none, all in favor?
Aye.
Nays, motion carried. Consideration, possible action, requesting report of the purchasing manager. A, request approval to purchase traffic signals, poles, related items from TAPCO, $48,979, and General Traffic Corporation, $10,056.
We did an RFQ for this equipment. We had 3 respondents, and we split the award between the 2, awarding each of them the item where they were the lowest price. And I think by splitting it, we saved about $1,100 as opposed to giving it all to the one bidder.
And this is basically inventory replenishment that we do on an annual basis, and the way that purchasing has split this is consistent with what we've done in previous years.
Questions, concerns?
I move to approve the.
Motion to approve by Netting, second by Vanderleest. Under discussion. Here none, all in favor? Nays, motion carried. B, request approval to purchase a combination jet/vacuum sewer truck and equipment from Bruce Municipal for $430,000.
I'm going to defer to the director on this, but I will give you a little background. This is a sole source request, and the last time we bought a vacuum jet sweeper was 2009. At that time, the proposed vendor and the proposed body was bid, and the recommendation is to buy that body again. And the pricing in 2009 was $355,000 for the chassis and body, and it's now $411 just for the chassis and body. So that's, I think, about a 13% inflationary factor involved there. But Steve, I'll let you provide the justification for the sole
Sure.
source request.
What we're looking at here is a combination jet truck and vacuum trucks that's used for cleaning the sewer lines, primarily sanitary, but we can also use the same vehicle for cleaning storm sewer lines. In an effort to make sure that we are stepping our game up on cleaning of our sewers and maintenance of our sewers, we need another combination truck. So this truck was actually budgeted as part of the sanitary budget for the year, which was already approved. Came in below our budgetary number where we expected it to be. The Vector, I'm gonna draw a little parallel. Back in the old days when photocopying equipment was new, you called it a Xerox machine because Xerox was the standard, okay? By and large, Vector is the standard out there. The way the trucks are set up, the equipment that's on the truck, the way they're plumbed, for us to be able to keep inventory of parts, interoperability, and interchange of parts between the various vehicles, those are the reasons that we would like to stay with a Vector unit. And as Rick indicated, we did go out and do some comparative pricing, and they still are a competitively priced piece of machinery. So it's not like we're buying something that they're gouging the price on. We're getting a good price on it, and it's the equipment that we have, so it's similar to the other equipment, helps our equipment operators better utilize the equipment, and also works better with the mechanics for maintenance of that equipment.
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve by Vanderlee, second by Denning.
I'll second it. I do have a couple
Under
questions.
discussion, Dave?
There are two options listed here. Are we taking both those options, or what are we doing?
Let me see which item you're referring to. You're looking at the quote from Bruce Municipal?
Yeah,
Okay.
The option one is the Synetics and the 2 headsets and base station, and the option 2 is some additional nozzles. I believe we are getting all of that. Yes. Okay,
okay.
yes.
And the number, the agenda said 430,000, and the quote said 411,283. Is it?
There is some additional equipment that will be purchased separately from the body and the chassis.
Correct. What
That
you're
was
seeing is the
approved.
quote on the body and the chassis, so there's some additional, as Rick indicated, there's some additional
So the
equipment that goes along with
Motion
this.
should be to approve 430.
Correct,
Okay,
yes.
okay, I'll second that.
Okay, under discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Nays, motion carried. All right, consideration, number 5, consideration, possible action, and approval of a contract amendment for appraisal services associated with the acquisition of the right-of-way required for the reconstruction of Webster Ave from University Ave to Radisson Street. Director Kinnear.
Streetland LLC is the appraisal consultant that we've been using. They're performing the appraisals for the early acquisition of the parcels associated with the North Webster project. This amendment will add the remaining 45 parcels to their contract, so a lot of those are the small TLEs or the small strip takes on the west side. Basically, we want to continue using the same person for the additional parcels that were identified in the plat that we had approved at our last meeting. So the total cost for this amendment is $45,640.
Okay, any questions or concerns? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
Move to approve.
Motion approved by Nenning, second by Vanderleest. Under discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Nays, motion carried. Number 6, consideration, possible action on the following offering price report. Webster Avenue, University Ave to Radisson Street. Project ID number 4987-02-64. Craig Process, parcel 1575,000. Director Kinnear.
Again, every time that we want to go out and acquire one of the parcels associated with the project, the first step in that process is an offering price report. So this is the price that we're going to offer to the person for acquisition of the parcel. So we do recommend authorizing the submittal of the offering price report.
Okay, any questions or concerns? If not, entertain a motion.
Motion to approve.
By Vanderleest, second by Nenning. Under discussion, hear none, all in favor?
Aye.
Nays, motion carried.
On that
7.
Excuse me, on that parcel, was there actually a house on that parcel?
Yeah.
Okay.
7, consideration of possible action on review and approval of 2018 sanitary district rates. Director Kinnear?
Okay, I think we submitted those to you in the packet. Okay, so we go through this every year. The budget for sanitary was previously approved by the council during the budget hearings. But what we need to do is take the budget and turn it into the rates that the consumers, property owners are paying for sewage. So we take a look at the sewage strength, the sewage volumes, the pass-through rates from Green Bay Metropolitan Sewage District, New Water, and our budget. That gets factored into a series of spreadsheets that we have and we've used for several years, and we turn that into a rate that's actually paid per cubic, I think it's 100 cubic feet. So if you go to page 2, we're showing what the rates, the GBMSD rate is proposed at $2.76 per 100 cubic feet, and the city charges $1.92 per 100 cubic feet for a total volume charge of $4.68. Then there is a so that comes out to the $4.68, that volume charge that we have for non-monitored users. There's a minimum charge of $29.70, so a typical quarterly charge for a resident will come out to $113.94 for 2018. That's an increase of about $9 per quarter, $36 per year. This, again, the increase this year again is a result of a combination of capital projects by Green Bay Metropolitan Sewerage District, implementation of our CMON that's required by EPA, and the fact that over the past several years, the reserves that we had were depleted, trying to hold the rates down to the point where we don't have those capital reserves any longer, and we're being forced to pass those cost increases onto to our ratepayers. So again, all the costs that we're talking about were part of the budget that we already approved. What we're doing is we're taking the budget and turning it into a rate.
Any questions? If not, entertain a motion.
I don't think we have any choice to move to approve.
Motion to approve by Netting. Do I hear a second? Second by,
What did we raise them, what was the rate?
one second. We're under discussion. Alderman Vanderleest.
What was the increase we had last year?
The increase was about little over, about $11 from 2016 to 17. We've been absorbing some double-digit percent increases over the past several years, and a lot of that is due to the capital projects that Green Bay Met is doing. If you look at,
I don't have that copy of that paper.
oh, we can definitely get you one.
It was $11 per quarter was the increase
Right.
last year, and now we're.
It must not have been in my package.
But if we take a look and see the GBMSD rate increases and then the city rate increases, ours have been relatively light, but GBMSD has been going up quite a bit. And they've got, I think their R2E2 project is like $350 million. And they were able to defer another $300 million worth of phosphorus treatment by doing some other things. So it could have been double that easily.
What is the outlook for the coming years?
Again, we continue to work with them to try to hold these cost increases to a minimum, but they have told us to expect double-digit increases for the foreseeable future, probably the next 5 years. So we're looking at minimum 10 to 12% pass-through on their end.
Once it's up there, will those rates be adjusted later?
Yeah,
Once they got the capital improvements done?
that's what we're hopeful of.
On the rate stabilization, in the budget, we still have $2 million that we're applying for rate stabilization. But that's,
We're building those reserves up to a level that's been not recommended, required by the auditors.
okay.
We used to actually tap into that reserve, and now Schenck has told us that we have to continue to fund that until we get to a certain level.
Any other questions, Dave?
No.
John?
Nope.
Entertain a motion. Motion to approve by Vanderleest, second by Netting, under discussion. Here none, all in favor. Nays, motion carried. A, consideration of possible action and review and approval of 2018 stormwater utility rates. Director Grenier.
Okay, included in your packet, we've also provided you with a copy of the 2018 budget for stormwater utility that was passed as part of the budget hearing. Between 2011 and 2016, for a period of 6 years, we were able to hold our rates steady. We had an increase last year, and we're looking to increase again this year. Again, replacement of deteriorated infrastructure, addressing stormwater high water concerns, and regulatory requirements associated with our MS4 permit are driving these cost factors. One of the things that we have done over the past couple of years, previously, storm sewer projects, storm sewer replacement projects were largely driven by if we happen to be doing a pavement project. And in response to complaints due to high water or flooding issues, we've expanded our storm sewer program, so we actually have projects where it's just a storm sewer that's going on, and we're not reconstructing the road, so there is some, excuse me, there's some pavement replacement that has to go along with that storm sewer, but we're expanding how much storm sewer we are replacing. We need to get the money to replace the storm sewer. The storm sewer utility is a utility, so it's self-funded. So that comes back to the rates. So 2017 rates were $6.46 per ERU per month, or $77.48 per year. We're looking to go to $6.91 per month, or $82.92 per year. That is about, give or take, $5.50 per ERU, which is roughly equivalent to a residential parcel.
Any questions? Concerns? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
Move to approve.
Motion to approve by Nenning, second by Vanderleest. Under discussion, here none, all in favor?
Aye.
Nays, motion carried. Okay, number 9, Zimma's not here, so I'll just entertain a motion to hold until next meeting.
Yeah, well, I guess move to hold it.
Motion to hold by Nenning, second by Vanderleest. Under discussion, here none, all in favor? Nays,
Aye.
motion carried. 10, consideration of possible action on request by Parks Department to modify the bulkhead line adjacent to the proposed beach at Bay Beach Amusement Park. Director Grenier.
Okay, as part of the beach at Bay Beach project, one of the issues that we're dealing with is getting concurrence from the DNR. And there's a, I don't know if you want to call it an artificial line, but there's essentially a line on the map. And we get to define that line, and it's called the bulkhead line. And what the bulkhead line does is it separates jurisdictionally water from land. So we can do more things on the dry side of the bulkhead line than we can on the wet end of the bulkhead line. So we've been in conversations with Department of Natural Resources, and DNR is recommending that we redefine the bulkhead line further out than what has previously been done, which will give us more latitude and allow the DNR upland people to have more regulatory oversight as opposed to the in-water people, which will make it easier for us to get the Beach at Bay Beach project permitted properly. A lot of peace there. So staff is recommending that we redefine the bulkhead line and submit that redefined bulkhead line into DNR for concurrence and approval as part of the Bay Beach project.
Any questions?
How far are we
Netting.
going?
We're moving about 85 feet. And again,
Closer to
it
land?
doesn't, what's that?
Closer to land or farther out?
Farther out.
Farther out.
And again, remember, where the beach is proposed to go in out there, the gradient is very shallow. It remains very shallow water for a very long period out into the bay. So we're not having an adverse effect on fisheries habitat or ecological issues or anything like that. We're in very, very shallow water. We're gonna move that line out, and that gives us more opportunity, especially with fluctuations in water level over time, to build that beach out there and maintain it properly.
Any other questions? If not, entertain a motion.
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve by Vanderleest, second by Nenning. Under discussion, here none, all in favor?
Aye.
Nays, motion carried. 11, Director's Report. Director Grenier.
Okay, got a couple of presents for you. Historically, we have provided you with copies of what we call the Budget Bible for Department of Public Works. And what this does is it takes all of our budget items and gives you an expanded description of what exactly is in there. So that is for your review, your use. If you got any questions, by all means, let me know. We received from the mayor's office earlier this week what the mayor has as the meeting schedule for common council for 2018. What we have done is taken that meeting schedule and combined it with a calendar that has the proposed meeting dates for Improvement and Service Committee and likely Parks Committee as well. So this is being provided to you for your review and your planning purposes. If there's anything on it, we've got until middle of January before we're gonna meet again. So if you get a chance, take a peek at it. If you see anything that represents a conflict, get in touch with me and we can try to avoid the conflicts before they happen if you guys have a full year calendar in front of you. So a little something new, we're gonna give you that calendar to try to help plan things out a little bit better. Talking with sanitation section, we've had a major uptick in illegal tire dumping lately. So we are working with police department to try to identify, if we can, where those tires are coming from so we can put an end to it. Because if we got an illegal tire dump and a resident calls up and says, Steve, I got a vacant piece of property out here, they're not my tires, I came and this just happened. We had somebody call up and say, showed up and there was 150 tires that weren't there the night before. We gotta go out there, clean that up, and it's at our cost. So we're getting charged for all those tires. So we are working with PD to try to identify where those tires are coming from to see if we can put an end to this. But just wanna let you guys know, if you see, or if we're talking, and I explained that our sanitation charges are getting hit, that's our big thing right now, is the illegal tire dumping.
Michelin Man.
I have one.
What's that?
I'd look at the Michelin Man.
I have one particular
Well, and
example
I-
in my district that gets dumped regularly.
Yep.
And I think your staff has probably picked 100 tires
Yep.
or more out of there during the summer. And there's a stack right now. It's an alley between Union Hall and Elizabeth.
Okay. We are, right now,
I'd love to catch whoever's doing it.
we're in the middle of our first full plow of the year. I sent an email out to you folks last weekend when we anticipated having to come in over the weekend and plow. With the snow coming, we simply can't collect leaves anymore. So if anything's in the gutter, it's likely going to wind up on a plow blade and back in somebody's front yard tonight. We will come back with the spring yard waste collection, and we'll do the best we can to try to clean that up at that time. But we were able to get another 2 rounds through, I think, by keeping at it with the trucks after with the weather allowing us. So we got a lot done. And then, as I indicated earlier with when we were talking about the sanitary rates, sewer section has really stepped up their game this year. And we're getting a lot of heavy production out of those folks as far as televising and cleaning, which is one of the reasons that we wanted to get that second combination truck this year to help those folks out so they've got the tools to do their job. We were looking at about a 9 to 10 year rotation to get through the entire city. So your sewers would be televised and or cleaned every 10 years. Our goal is to get down to 5 years, and we are really starting to chew into that. When we come to you with, every year we have to submit an annual report to the DNR on both the sanitary sewer system and the storm sewer system. So when we come with the sanitary report, I'm gonna have Matt Heckenlein will come in and give you an update on the efforts that the guys have been able to achieve out there. But we've been extremely happy. Guys have been just actively engaged, providing ideas. Hey, we think we ought to do this, and it's really turned things around. So DNR has even come to us and made comment of, hey, we're really happy, we're impressed with what you guys have been doing. So I just wanted to make sure that you know, especially during the winter, street section is kind of the glory guys. They get the pats on the back, and everybody knows them because they're the ones cleaning the street. And I feel bad because oftentimes the sewer guys, that's my unseen, unclean division. They play in dirty sewers and they largely hide from the spotlight, but they're also doing some fantastic work, so I just want to make sure that you all knew about that. And that's my director's report.
Any other concerns or questions for the Director Denning?
You know, I just asked, make one comment, you know, we get those reports when they do go and check our sewer when there's
Mhm.
a citizen complaint, and I don't know if anybody else is getting them, but I get a lot of those reports from my district, and almost always they're identified as private.
Yes.
Private problems. I don't know how many we're doing citywide, but it must be a whole lot.
Quite a bit.
Okay.
Entertain a motion.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
Or do you want a motion to receive the report?
Receive and place on file.
Move to receive and place on file.
Motion to receive and
Second.
place on
Second.
file by Nenning, second by Worthing. Under discussion, hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Nays, motion carried. Motion to adjourn by Nenning, second by Worthing. Under discussion, hearing none, all in favor, we're adjourned.
Aye.
Okay, next.
Next. Yeah,